The Assad government has been overthrown in Syria. Now, what does that mean for the United States? What does that mean for Christians across the world? It means that we're that much closer, we're one step closer to World War III. Now, it's written plainly in Revelation chapter 9, start with verse 13, that World War III is going to start at the river Euphrates. You look at where the river Euphrates is, it starts in Turkey, goes through Syria, through Iraq, and it touches Iran at the very bottom. So those are the four angels that are bound at the river Euphrates, and it says that they're bound, they're going to be loosed for a certain time to destroy 1/3 of mankind. That's 2.3 billion people. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about World War III starting in Russia and Ukraine, or China, and between us and them and Taiwan, and then you see North Korea with their nukes and everything that's going on over there. And that's not the spark that starts World War III. It might all be involved in it, but that's not the spark that starts it. God said in Revelation chapter 9 that it's going to start in Syria and Turkey and Iraq and Iran. So with this going on in Syria right now, that's just another step closer to the inevitable war that's coming on this earth that's been prophesied a couple thousand years ago. And we haven't covered a lot of the things that have been going on in this world on the Plain Truth podcast, because we want to bring a message of hope, not necessarily fear mongering. We don't want anybody to come to Jesus Christ by fear. You know, we believe in Jesus Christ and we follow him because we love him, not because we fear retribution for not loving him. But this stuff is real. It's absolutely coming. People who were predicting World War II, they called them fear mongers, and guess what? It still happened anyway. Whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to put your head in the sand and say everything's going to be perfect, it's coming. We have no choice in the matter. It's been prophesied. It is coming. No matter what humans try to do to prevent it, it's coming. And the Syria issue right now is just one step closer. They're talking about attacking Israel. Right now, I think it's ISIS that has overthrown the Assad leadership. Now they're talking about attacking Israel from Syria. Russia's pulling out of Syria. From what you see on the news, they're pulling out of their bases and they're being overrun. There is another prophecy in Scripture that it talks about God's going to put a hook in Gog in his mouth and bring him back down to Israel to war with them. And could that be what we're looking at right now? We just have to find out if what's going on in Syria is that hook that God puts in his mouth. Now, this isn't the Ezekiel 38 war that is prophesied in Scripture. You can and go look, and we covered this about 4 months ago. We talked about World War III in Scripture. I'm not saying anything new that we haven't already covered on this channel. I think it's World War III in Scripture, and then Ezekiel 38 war. Go back and watch them. We cover kind of in detail about the difference between those two wars and why Ezekiel 38 war doesn't come until after World War III. Go check them out. And yeah, it's fixing to get fun in this world. So keep your eyes on Jesus Christ and eyes on the kingdom of heaven.